Live talking about how to speak to your kids and win their heart.
I couldn't remember what we called it.
How to speak to your kids and win their heart. And what we're talking about tonight, what we're super excited about, first of all, is a brand new parenting community program.
Community, that's what we like to call it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Can I tell them?
You tell them.
It
Talk all about it.
Okay, we are so excited. We've been working on this for
A while.
a long time. It is called 22-6 Parenting, and it is in partnership with Lifeway Christian Stores, and it is a subscription-based parenting community for those with kids 0 to 12. So if you are a parent of a 0 to 12, or a grandparent, or even like a youth worker or a teacher.
Yeah. 226parenting.com. We put the link there at the top, and be sure to check it out. Also, tonight, we want to know where you're from. Let us know how old your kids are, or if you're a grandparent, let us know how old your grandkids are, and if this is something that they would be interested in.
Yeah.
And part of what we're talking about tonight is how to speak to your kids and to win their heart. And we're talking about that because that's what 22:6 is all about. And it comes out of Proverbs 22:6. So it comes out of, train a child, or start the CSB version says start a youth in their way. Other versions say train a child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they will not depart from it. And the power of that, first of all, it's important to say it's not a promise.
Right.
It's a proverb. And so, however, what the whole verse really is about creating the environment that we need to in order to raise our kids to love God and love others well. It's all about the environment that we're raising them in, to teach them about God. And so as we talk about parents discipling their kids, our heart, and I think it really goes, we need to start here, is when we first became parents, were quite exhausted. And it was...
That is like the understatement of the century, quite exhausted.
We kind of had post-traumatic infant disorder.
Yeah.
Like we were like...
We're going to name that's a thing.
Because
Hi,
it was
Courtney.
busy.
Hi, Becky. Yeah, comment where you're from, and we wanted to know how many kids you have, and maybe their ages. If you have kids 0 to 12, we're especially talking to you tonight.
Joshua David just said teach but also show.
That's his middle
I love
name.
that because I love his
David.
name, first of all.
Yeah.
And I also love that he talks about modeling, because
Hi,
at the end of the
Delmy.
day, that's what this is all about. It's
Yeah.
about modeling.
So if you missed it in the beginning, we are super excited because we just, not launched, because it
It's
doesn't
not launched
launch
yet,
until June.
but the website launched. So
Yes.
you can go to 226parenting.com. 22:6.
Okay, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to cut off something.
So if you sign up today for at 226parenting.com, you get a free PDF download.
We don't have like a picture of it to show you because
It'd be backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hold on. Okay. So I'm
There's
gonna
the
cut
ad.
off my head. Okay. This is it.
That's
if you
the
see
ad.
this logo around, this is what you want. 22:6 Parenting.
So go to 226parenting.com. Let us know what you think of the website. Sign up. We're doing a free video series, a 3-week video series on the 3 most important lessons we can teach our kids. And then we're going to join. It's going to be a community of parents to raise kids who love God and love others. And that's what we're talking about tonight, is just this environment of...
We are so excited about this because we realized, I think this is what you were starting to say, about how tired we were when we became parents. And we were so overwhelmed by, there's so much to know, or that you think you need to know, and it's just so much harder than anyone ever really tells you.
And every parent out there in the world, or every parenting expert out there in the world, is trying to tell us how to raise our kids, and so many of them contradict each other.
Exactly.
And so it was
we
just, like, too
wanted
much information.
something simpler. We knew it had to be simpler, and so we went to the Bible and research, and that's basically, and we realized too that it's lonely. It's really lonely in 21st century, especially, North American culture, where we're very individualistic. We spend most of our time within our 4 walls, or within the 4 walls of our minivans, or Suburbans, or whatever you fancy people have. But we're alone. We're alone with our kids, and we feel alone, and we were never, ever meant to do this alone. So that is what 22:6 is about. It is doing this in community.
Yeah, and you drive around in your Honda Odyssey. That was kind of your getaway. Yeah.
We did get a minivan.
We do have a minivan. And
I'm
so,
not even like
we love
ashamed
it.
of it. I
and
love
so,
it.
yeah, no shame here. In fact, that's what 22.6 is all about. No shame. Like we're saying, hey, we're going to raise our kids the best that we can. I saw one person say they're having their first baby in 3 weeks. There's one with 5 kids, 19, 13, 12, 10, and 7 in Arizona. Love that. Go to 226parenting.com. Sign up for the free video series and the free PDF on 7 ways to disciple your kids.
Yeah.
And 22.6 really, it starts the word teach or train or start, depending on what version you use. It really, that word goes back to infancy, meaning we can't start. You can't start soon enough in discipling your kids. And a lot of that comes back to, so as we talk about raising kids who love God and love others, and we talk about the environment, Proverbs 22.6 really is all about the environment from which we raise our kids. And that environment it's really, and that's what we talk about, simplifying this. It really goes back to emotional safety and being safe for our kids. And tonight we're talking about how to speak to our kids to win their heart. And let me ask you guys, if you can talk to us a little bit. What does discipleship look for you guys as parents? Like, is this something that you just were like, man, I never even really thought about how I could disciple my kids? Because I know for a lot of us that's true.
Well, and a lot of us who didn't grow up in Christian homes, I don't even think you know what the word discipleship, like how do you disciple your kids? Like I don't even know what that means. And that's what we wanted. It felt scary, it felt really big, and it feels like you're raising these little souls, and you hope you're doing a good job, but do we ever really know?
Yeah.
No. So we wanted to do something to equip us, to equip all parents, to put tools in your hands that doesn't add anything to your day, that's already really busy and full, and it doesn't make you feel like you're doing this alone or having to come up with these creative ideas on
in the
how
midst
to
of
do
the busyness.
this by yourself.
And so the cool part about it, because tonight we're going to talk about how to speak to your kids and win their heart, and the power of doing that. So what we're doing is we journey in 226 parenting. Part of this journey is going to be focusing in on what we call mile markers, because the whole idea is raising our kids in the way. The Bible talks about the way, and we want to lead our children on the way. And so we have mile markers along that way. And so, when you have children, a lot of times our children are, and so one of the things that we talk about is we journey is how different our kids are, right? And that passage talks about in the way he or she should go, and just the whole idea of honing in on who our kids are. And what I love about this is, and this is what's hard, and if you're a parent, like this comment, if like or love this comment, if it resonates with you, and that is, how do we disciple our kids in their temper tantrums, when they're talking back to us, in their misbehavior, when they're overwhelmed, when they're anxious, when they are not listening, and just the overwhelmness of life. And so that's what we're talking about in terms of how to speak to your kids to win their heart. Look at all those likes, look at all those loves, because that's the truth. Like, and for us, so let's talk about the anxiety, right? So one of the ways to win our kids' hearts, and by the way, everybody looks normal when things are going well.
Yep.
Everybody looks normal when things are going well. It's not until we hit stress or duress that we see a person's true relationship style come out. So when we're stressed and overwhelmed, or when our kids are stressed and overwhelmed, that's when you really begin to see, okay, here's where the rubber meets the road. Here's what the environment should look like. And so the way that we describe this is really getting on their level. So to simplify it, what does the environment look like? It doesn't matter whether it's in anxiety, it doesn't matter whether it's in discipline, or some other ways we're going to talk about here in a minute, but getting on their level, getting on eye level. And so we can talk about the anxiety part of that with our son a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he struggles with that.
Yeah, we have a son who's just always been prone to anxiety. I think that's might be his thing that he struggles with his whole life. And so we've done a few things to just, so that he feels seen and known, right? In his, not shamed, and not even just dismissed that this is not important, because it is. It's something that he struggles with that's very different. And so for like bedtime, for example, it's tough for him. The separation is hard for him. And so we've had to learn to basically give him a few leniences where we say, like, I see you, buddy, and I know that this is a struggle for you, so we're going to let you, like, we let him keep his door open. It's something where he just feels closer to us, and somehow it just makes him feel seen and known, and that his anxiety, like, it just calms his brain. Whereas his sister, if we let her leave her door open, I mean, she would be, like, upstairs wandering right now.
She wants the door closed.
Yeah.
She actually tells me she wants the door closed.
Does she? She keeps asking me to open it.
No, she wants the door closed.
Yeah.
She told me last night, close the door, Dad.
Oh.
Well, she came over with a bad dream in the middle of the night. You were out. You were gone. And she says, Daddy had a bad dream.
I wasn't actually gone. I sleep hard.
So I went and laid down with her. And as I went to lay down with her to help her go back to sleep, she says, Daddy, close the door.
Yeah.
I said, okay, we'll close the door. And so, but the power of this, and so in anxiety, what I love about this is Philippians 4. And I'm not going to go too heavy into this tonight because we have a podcast actually releasing on Wednesday. So if you go to joshuastraub.com/our podcast, you'll see our podcast there. We'll put a link up for that as well. We're talking about this very topic on our podcast this week. But Philippians 4, Paul talks about in your anxiety, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, make your request made known to God. With thanksgiving, make your request known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will keep your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. He understood that when we're not to be anxious, because when we're anxious, that's when our brains are overwhelmed.
We can't think.
We can't think straight.
Yeah.
And so as a child, if a child's overwhelmed, and part of the problem is a lot of times we as parents confuse behavior, and we act as though they're disobedient.
Yeah.
And they're not disobedient, they're scared. Because then in the next verse, Paul says, therefore, brothers, think upon things that are pure and true and holy and noble and upright, anything excellent and praiseworthy. I think Paul understood that you can't think straight when you're overwhelmed.
Yeah, until your brain is calmed down.
Yeah. So our mile markers in 226 Parenting. So if you go to 226parenting.com and sign up for the free video series, if you sign up for that, our mile markers that we're going to be doing along the way include anxiety, fear not. The Bible says to fear not. How do we help our kids through fear? How do we help them when they're discouraged?
Yeah.
How do we help them to not sin in their anger? How do we help them when they're rejected by friends or peers at school, and how do we help them to feel accepted? How do we disciple our kids? Because I believe that true discipleship happens in the trenches. It often doesn't look like...
We've been talking about this a lot lately.
That it doesn't look like a journal and, a cup of tea and a kid's Bible as you go.
Are the kids drinking tea? Or
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But it just doesn't look like sometimes we think in our brain.
Have you ever had tea in your life?
Yeah. No, they happen in the teachable moments.
Yeah.
They happen in the teachable moments. So,
but they happen in the everyday moments, and I think that's what you need to talk about too, because we've structured 22-6 parenting so that it happens in those 4 key times of the day that Moses talks about. So when they wake up, when we eat dinner, eat meals together, we sit around the table. When they walk along the way, which is our society's equivalent of drive time, unless you live in New York City, and then maybe you actually do walk somewhere, but
or take the subway.
Yeah, that's way cooler. And then when they go to bed, and those 4 key times of the day, we're with them most often, and those are the 4 times that we focus on with 22-6 parenting, where it's just giving parents the tools in those 4 times to just be a little more intentional. That we go to bed feeling like
we got to win today.
We got to win, and not like #winning like that. I'm not all into that.
But to feel like you've connected with your child.
But to feel like you've talked about the things that
relational
matter.
Connection.
Yes, to feel like you've talked and you've done stuff that mattered with them that day, as opposed to just, fed them
and that
discipline
keeps
them.
that, and as we talk about Proverbs 22:6 being that emotional environment, and again, we're simplifying this. It's all about simplification.
Yeah.
Simplifying the way that we raise our kids to that environment of emotional safety and leading them in discipleship from that. And exactly what you're saying, it's not that we're adding anything to our already busy days.
Yeah.
It's that we're just present with them, that they feel connected, so that when they hit those bumps in the road, especially as they age, they will, and especially as they age, that they turn to us, that they they can feel safe with us, that they can come back to us and say, "Hey, Mom, Dad, can I tell you what happened to me at school today?" So how to speak to our kids and win their heart in anxiety is to get on their level to help calm that anxiety, and then how do we speak to them in discipline? That's another one. Discipline.
Which month? If you want to start with month 1 though.
Month 1 is values. At the very beginning, we're establishing family values in our home, and so that's going to be month 1's focus.
Yeah.
Month 2 is going to be anxiety. It's going to be on fear not. But we're going to get into discipline. And all of these will be all throughout the whole journey in 22-6 because it's part of our journey as parents, you know. And so...
But I do love that we're focusing on one thing at a time. So it's like this month, like it's like we call it mile markers because it's almost like you're progressing. Like you're working on this, and once you kind of you're tackling this together, then next month we can kind of build on that. And now we're working on the next one.
So I just saw there, I saw a 13-year-old getting ready to enter into high school. I saw a 6-year-old very sensitive boy. So for us, it's easy to see how different your children are. Tell us about how different your children are. Like, tell us about how...
Well, I think that's the importance of this, is that we realized it requires time and real investment with our kids, like face to face with them.
Becoming students.
To know them. And there's no, I mean, if anyone were to tell you there's one way to raise a child or even disciple a child, I mean, they'd be lying to you. It's you, the parent. And that's what we love so much, is that it's not like we're, have any authority to say what someone should do. It's that we believe that you, the parent, have everything that you need to disciple that child. I believe that God chose you to be the parent of that child. You alone, no one else. And so we just want to help put the tools in your hands because you're the expert. And so we just want to make it easier, just like Walmart grocery pickup makes life easier, right? Like it's just adding that tool into your tool belt that makes this a little bit easier for you to go do your job really well.
I need this. Have a brilliant, strong-willed 11-year-old. I love that. So, and by the way, if you can tonight, and share the 226parenting.com website with your friends, or share this video with your friends to help us get the word out about it, because we really want to bring as many parents. This is a journey. This is a community. We're creating an online community where we can interact with each other. We can answer questions with each other. You can support one another, support each other as you navigate the content that we're going to be providing. That's what this whole community... We were not designed to disciple or raise our kids alone.
Yeah.
That goes back to Deuteronomy 6 and Moses saying, "Hear, O Israel," and the whole idea that it's the entire church and we come together. And that's our heart, is to come together as a generation of parents to raise our kids to love God and love others, because there's so many things competing for their souls and their hearts today. From technology to social media to advertising to, I mean, you name it, they have things screaming at them for their attention and their time. And we just want to be a support to say, hey, let's get all the other voices. Let's be the most important voice in our kids' life to raise them on the way that they should go, and so that they, when they're old, they won't depart from it.
Exactly.
So,
and you feel like you're a part of a team, like you're part of this community of people. You're all doing it together. It feels less lonely because it is countercultural. Yeah. What we're doing, we're raising kids very different than the world would have them go. Yeah. And so we need people to stand behind us and be the wind between our wings, beneath
as
our
parents.
wings.
Yeah, that's right.
And like hold one another up and ask questions and say, I'm struggling with this. And then anyway, we can keep talking about this. We can tell you all about it. But
by the way, if you share the video tonight,
just sign up and you'll start to see.
If you share the video tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to randomly draw names to win the Safe House study. So the study that we created on emotional safety,
I didn't know that.
Parent study, we're going to give away 5 of those studies tonight randomly to people
who... Do you want me to go get one?
You can go get one.
Hold on.
We'll pull that up. We're going to give away 5 of those tonight to people who share the video and tell others about 226 Parenting, 226parenting.com, 22:6. It's Proverbs 22:6. Because we really want to invest in other parents, and we want to do this as a community. So we're going to give away all 5 of these.
Okay, we're in
these right here. It's a DVD 6-week parent study on creating emotional safety in the home, how emotional safety is the key to raising kids who live, love, and lead well. We're going to give this away to 5 of you tonight for sharing the video.
So just comment that you shared.
Comment that you shared, and then we'll reach out to you via Messenger and get your address, and for those who win, and we will send
5
those.
winners, really?
5. We're gonna do 5 tonight.
There really are 5 here.
Yeah,
5.
You got 5 too. Way to go! So we're gonna do 5 of those. So we're talking about ways that we can win our children's heart. I mean, we were talking about how to speak to our kids and win their heart, but we're also doing it in the context of saying, hey, 226parenting.com launched this past week, and we're super excited about that. But also, the other way to speak to our kids, what's that?
Website.
Oh, where can we buy your materials? So there's two different places. First of all, the 226 Parenting is 226parenting.com, and we have that website there at the top of the video.
Show you.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to, I'll make the link available and pin it at the top as soon as this video is over. We'll pin it in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Our website is joshuastraub.com or drjoshandchristy.com.
That's going to make it real confusing.
It's going to make it real confusing.
Yeah.
joshuastraub.com. We'll post that too. You'll be able to get all these things. So, yeah, register at 226 Parenting. There's a lot of free stuff there.
There is a lot of free stuff there.
Including a video series coming out on the 3 most important lessons we can teach our children.
Yes, starting May 3rd, the first video drops. So
Next Wednesday.
Sign up. The other thing, if you want to like our Facebook page, if you haven't, or follow us on Instagram, wherever we are, it's just Dr. Josh and Christy. Our podcast name is the same. So if you go on iTunes or whatever you use for your podcast, just Dr. Josh and Christy podcast, real original, all the same. The website is also the same, drjoshandchristy.com.
Christy, Christ with an I.
Christ and I. Well, it wasn't my parents' intent, but it's funny.
So,
But just to say, if you follow us on there, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out about 22.6. So
Yeah.
I don't think you'll miss it.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing is that, so we talked about the trenches, like how we speak to our kids in the trenches, like in their anxiety or in discipline. One of the cool parts about 226 Parenting is we're going to be talking about discipline and how we tie our values and our biblical values to discipline. So that whenever something happens, like for instance, we unloaded the dishwasher tonight, and the kids, if this didn't happen tonight, because they wanted lollipops, they get a lollipop after they unload the dishwasher. But sometimes it'll be like, hey, buddy, can you open the blinds first thing in the morning? Daddy, I don't feel like it. Well, then we'll go to Proverbs 6:6 and say, what would the ant do? Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider his ways and be wise. And so, like, connecting our discipline to a biblical passage so that our kids from a very early age are learning Scripture, but they're not just learning Scripture, they're learning how to apply it in their lives. They're learning how it applies to them and how to live it out. And that really, as Joshua David wrote there earlier, it begins with us as parents.
He really
and
likes you, Joshua.
How we live it out. Great name, great comment. It worked. So the other way that we do this is in their interests, becoming students of their interests.
Yeah.
Because it says the way that they should go. Raise a child in the way he should go. And so...
But meaning individual to the child. Individual to the child's, interests, makeup, talents, passions. And what I think is so neat is like it's like a brand new, there's no rule book, right? This brand new every time. And I think what's so cool is starting to mine through and figure out what it is in our child that the Lord has just put in there to just shine. And we as their parents need to call that out in them, because the world probably never will. The world wants them to fall in line and obey, and we're the ones that can see in them and call that out in them and speak that over them.
Speak that over them. Yeah. And that's the power of this, is it's not just raising our children, and that the interpretation of Proverbs 22:6 really is looking at it in two lights. It's the interpretation of it really tends to fall into the category of raising a child in the way they should go, because should go in the ways of God, in the wisdom of God.
Right. Emphasis on should. Yeah.
Emphasis on should. But then the opposite is also true. You can't ignore the fact that it says in the way they should go, where we become students of their interests.
Yeah. But and
their passions.
What I think is really important is that we have to get to a place. It's not the way we think they should go.
That's the key.
It is not the way we hope that they go, that we've planned that they go, that our unmet desires and needs of our childhood want them to go. It's the way the Lord created them to go. And I think that's what's super neat with 22.6 parenting is that, for example, at bedtime, we list bedtime questions. So every month there's a whole new list of bedtime questions, questions that really kind of dig deep into the topic of that month. So if it's anxiety, if it's fear, it's questions that I probably would never think to ask our kids, but to ask them at bedtime, which is a time of the day where kids just seem to be really open and vulnerable, and in a sweet way, that it's not a prying way. It's a way that they just start to kind of open up to you in the privacy of their bedroom, and we can kind of enter in there and we can ask them these questions, one at a time. I mean, you may only ask them 2 questions the whole month. It's for you to choose what works best for your kids and you as a parent, and your family makeup. But it gets into things that they're probably not saying to us, that sometimes they don't even have the words or the language to put to it.
Someone just asked, what if they don't know their, I'm just going to look at this real quickly. What if they don't know their passion or what gifts God has given them? And I think that's the whole power of this, is they don't from an early age. I mean, for a lot of us, as we become adults, don't know those things. And so the power of this is as us as parents, becoming parents of understanding. As Proverbs says, our hearts are like deep waters, but it takes a man or a woman of understanding to draw them out. Like, we as parents become that mentor, that teacher. It says to teach your kids in the way they should go. And that's the power of this, is we really focus on that teacher part or training part. We become, as we ask the right questions, as we, tell stories during dinner time, we have drive time games. And a lot of these drive time games, nighttime stories, dinner time stories, bedtime questions, morning prayers, part of this is also to help get rid of the screens.
You just skimmed over that really fast, but...
Sorry.
No, but
that's because I'm living in the content. We're writing it all right now.
So there's morning prayers every month that are, again, center around the topic for that month.
The mile marker. Yep.
The mile marker. That's a better word.
Mile marker.
Yes. And then there's dinner time stories. So using the research that basically says that kids that have been told stories, so they know where they come from, they know their family background, they know things about their parents and their grandparents and their great-grandparents, they actually walk out into the world with more confidence and sort of a better sense of self, really. Mm-hmm. And it's like the research is incredible on just the power of story that we can tell over our kids. So it's stories for us to tell our kids over meal times, breakfast, lunch, dinner. You can choose whatever meal you guys sit around a table together. And then drive time games. So pickups and drop-offs for school, going to soccer practice, baseball practice, whatever it is you cart your kids around for. But it's actual games that start to sort of foster a real sense of, fun and joy, and also, but just learning and getting to know one another as a family unit in the car. And then bedtime questions, where we're digging in a little deeper, and again, it's all around that mile marker for the month. And
the power of that is, as we tell those stories, as we answer those questions, we're drawing out in our kids the way that they should go, and kind of just. But we're asking the questions. We're not dictating.
It's less about teaching, and it's more about almost bringing them to the conclusion. Problem solving.
I want my son to be a wrestler and a baseball player. But if he doesn't want to wrestle and play baseball, then I have to be okay with that. So
he doesn't want to wrestle. I don't want our son to wrestle. But baseball, I'm fine with.
But let me say this too: those 4 key times of the day, the goal of this content is to also get rid of the screens during those times. Yeah. We have a very hard and fast rule in our house about screens at dinner time. No screens at dinner time, and
unless he catches me.
We're pretty stringent on the drive time too. But I was just looking at the drive time games today for the Fear Not month in 226 Parenting, and one of them is called God's Got It.
Is that July?
What's that?
Is that July?
July. So
no, August.
It's July, and one of them is called God's Got It, and it's so super fun because. I'm not going to tell you about the game because you need to sign up, and then you can find out about it. But it's just a fun game that you can play with your kids called God's Got It. And July's month is on Fear Not. And what we're doing is it's a game where kids talk about their fears, they talk about that, and then there's some fun things to do to relax.
And then in August, I love in August, talk about August.
Do not be discouraged.
Building confidence in kids as they're about to go back to school.
And meet new friends and have new teachers and have new experiences and try out for new stuff and extracurricular activities and just building courage in our kids. And so that's going to be August. But the other way to do this and the other way to speak to our kids, so we're talking about how to speak to our kids to win their heart, is really about getting on their level and getting on their eye level, like at their level, and helping calm their brain, help them calm their anxieties, in their discipline, connecting our discipline to values, in their interests, and then also the other one, and I love this, is in play. In play, because our kids, and that's one of the cool parts about 226parenting.com and 226 is it's all about having fun as well. As we travel along the way, guess what are along there? Rest stops. Guess what else is along there? Chick-fil-A's with playgrounds. Like, I don't know, it's the only thing I can think of. But like, when you go on a long road trip, when you're going along the way, you have to stop and play. And the cool part about this is what I was going to say to Christy.
Some people don't stop. But I think what we're saying is you need to stop and play.
You gotta have to stop play.
Yeah.
And the cool part about this is this isn't just based on Proverbs 22:6, as Christy was mentioning. This is also based in child development research. And so it's all based in child development research as well. And so that's what we're building emotion. Because I believe this. I believe that we can only be as spiritually mature as we are emotionally mature. That emotional maturity and spiritual maturity go hand in hand. I mean, you look at Galatians, you look at the fruit of the Spirit: love and joy and peace and patience and kindness and gentleness and patience, self-control. Right? How do we sign up? I have an 8-year-old, 10-year-old. Okay, so go to 226parenting.com. There's a couple of questions about this. We're going to put all this information there in the comments section. But if you go to 226parenting.com and sign up, you'll get a free PDF download, 7 practical ways to disciple your kids. And then you'll also be signed up for the 3...
Sorry, I'm scrolling through questions.
It's a video-based... 3 videos that come out on the 3 most important lessons we can teach our kids. The 3 most important lessons we can teach our kids.
So let me explain how this really works, because someone just asked, is there an official start date to this? Yes, there is.
Yes, there's an official start date.
So May 3rd, the first video is going to launch. This is the free stuff.
So
you just sign up and you get the free stuff.
The free PDF, you get that as soon as you sign up. And then for the next 3 weeks after that, starting May 3rd, are a 3-week video series on the 3 most important lessons we can teach our kids.
Yeah. And so that's sort of the free stuff, just to like teach you, stuff, just to give you stuff and to talk a little bit more about 226 parenting.
Yeah.
And then starting May 15th, registration actually opens for 226 parenting, and it is only open for a week. So there's
10 days.
A week plus 3 days.
Yes, 10 days.
10 days. I did not know that.
10
okay,
days.
It's open for 10 days, and then it closes. So it'll be something. And then it all
starts June 1st. So starting in June is when we'll do the values. Yes.
There you go.
And then July, and then it'll go on from there. And then we'll just continue in this journey together.
And November's going to be awesome, and December's going to be really awesome too, because I know what those are. But yeah, so there's only a 10-day window. I thought it was 7, but it's 10. So you have 3 more days.
And grandparents, if you're right there, as a grandmother, yes.
Also, for moms, dads, if you're watching
Wait a minute, I'm talking about grandparents right now, and you cut me off.
Okay, sorry.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know.
No, do it. I'll tell grandmas in a minute.
For grandmas or dads.
You're so excited.
I am excited. We've been working on this a really long time. You can sign your wife up for Mother's Day. Can you imagine?
Good call, Christy.
As a Mother's Day gift, like, here you go, honey.
Good call.
This is like someone holding your hand. Not even holding your hand. This is like someone just...
Yeah, good call. For Mother's Day.
Giving you a big hug.
Grandparents also, you can sign up your kids as well. So, it'll be good. Someone set a price there. The price when it officially comes out is $9.97 a month. So it's 33 cents a day. $9.97
like
a month.
Sponsor a child for 33 cents a day.
33 cents a day.
Sponsor your own child for 33 cents a day.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. So it's
very
reasonable. It's very reasonable.
Yeah.
And it's an opportunity for all of us to journey together so that we can...
We'll just keep talking about it. There's also a private Facebook page that will be for only those in 226 parenting. There are administrative assistants who are there. You can call them or email them with all your questions, just about
coaching video. Video comes out every single. The coaching video comes out as part of the deal, and then so the coaching video, and then the content will be released, and then we do Q&As, live Q&As. With yes, it is a membership, Rachel. It is a membership, and it will be starting June 1st. You can sign up at 226parenting.com. Someone just asked, where do you register? 226parenting.com.
Yeah, and what we wanted to do is there's 10 days to sign up, and that is simply because we want this to be a community. So once you're in the community, and we want to walk through this together. So there won't, at this point, it'll be a while before it opens up again. So just to tell you, particular age, it's aimed at 0 to 12.
Yeah, 0 to 12 primarily. It would, I'm just going to be honest. My main counseling experience is with teenagers. I think it would be helpful for teenagers.
We do have
But if you sign up and you don't feel like it fits, you can drop out at any time. So.
Yeah. Also, we've made
There's
a
no commitment.
preschool version, like a preschool
That's
version
very
and a
true.
school age version.
We have a preschool and a school age, so you can get both versions if you sign up, or you can just if you have kids just in preschool, you can just do the preschool version as well. We have recommended resources in there and everything. And this is one of those things too, where it's kind of like it's not like you have to do everything. It's shame-free. It's a shame-free community. And what we're doing is just giving content and saying, hey, put it in a bowl, stir it up, figure out, because you are a student of your children. You know your children better than we obviously know your children. And so this is an opportunity for you guys to really just walk with your kids and fit it to your taste, fit it to your liking for your family, because your family's unique and our family's unique, and it's going to look different. Yes, you can join for your adult children that have a 9 and a 2-year-old. So if you are a grandparent, you can totally sign up for them as well. Absolutely.
I wish someone had done that for me.
What?
It says Thrive Mom. 226 Parenting. It says Thrive Mom.
226parenting.com. 226
like all together,
parenting.
just like you had
just
it,
like
but
you
just
had it,
all
put it together. 226parenting.com. The numerals 226parenting.com, and we'll post this up there as well. And so, someone else asked a question on there, and I can't remember what the question was. Next question. The question was.
I'm glad you're excited.
Oh, are you a counselor? Yes, we have both have counseling degrees. I've had more counseling experience through the years. You've had more mom experience through the years. And so, yeah. So most of my counseling experience is primarily with juvenile delinquents and troubled families. That was primarily my background. So yours was with chronic pain patients. I would much rather have juvenile delinquents.
Yep. Horrible.
But
I shouldn't say that. Very tough. Very challenging. Anyway.
You were very challenged.
I was very challenged.
Yeah.
Yes. And the family dynamics that all go with that. But
so, is it a $10 a month or a one-time fee? It is $9.97, I think, a month. Is what it is. So it'll be 33 cents a day. Yeah.
$10.
So it'll be an ongoing subscription-based thing. So 226
It's gonna be so great. And we seriously, Lifeway Christian Store. This is
hosted by Lifeway Christian Stores.
So if you have questions, you can actually go to Lifeway Christian Stores. They're going to be training all their employees on this. It should be, you'll see it probably at all Lifeway events and flyers. We just literally got this flyer. Someone brought it to us, and it's really embarrassing because our picture's in it. But
hey, it's a good cause.
it is a good cause.
Look at the logo. We love the logo.
Here.
The team did an amazing job on the logo. 22/6 parenting.
Can you see that? I don't know if you can
22/6.
see
So,
that. It's going to be awesome.
by the way, if you are a part of what's that say?
It says it just closes. I wonder if there's too many people going to it.
Just closes. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, maybe there's too many people going to it right now. I'm not sure. We will make sure that that's fixed. So just we'll put the link there and keep trying back if it's not going there, if it's not letting you go there. 226parenting.com, because you had it exactly right the way that it was written. Who was that did that? That was Renee. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Reine. Renee, 226parenting.com.
That's weird.
Yep, you have it exactly right. So I want to sign up. So go to 226parenting.com. Just put in your email address. You'll get a free PDF download, and that's it. And from that point on, you'll start getting the emails of how to log in and do all that kind of stuff. So Holly says she got in fine. Awesome. So that's great. So
Good.
if you guys have any questions, We'll continue to interact on this Facebook Live thread. So please ask your questions, and we'll answer all your questions as we can on this Facebook Live thread, because that'll be a great way.
Or you can just send us a message, or
Yeah.
you can find
Reach
us.
out
So
to
we're
us.
on Instagram, Facebook, at Dr. Josh and Christy. Our podcast is drjoshandchristy.com.
And the podcast this week, last week,
not .com. Sorry, that was the podcast.
joshuastraub.com/our podcast, our Dr. Josh Christie.
No, Melissa, you don't pay yet.
So
This
I
is
will.
the free
Yeah,
stuff.
no, this is the free stuff. I will go in. So this is all free. Just sign up. This is all free. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to. So remember, yes, free books. We are giving away tonight 5 of the Safe House Study. It's a 6-week DVD study. How emotional safety is the key to raising kids who live, love, and lead well. We're giving away 5 of these for sharing tonight's Facebook Live video with your friends, to tell others about 226 parenting and the way to get plugged in with this. So we're going to be interacting with you guys. Please continue to ask questions. And let us know some of your struggles as well, some of the things you would like to see maybe, because this is going to be an ongoing community. It's going to be fluid. We are really going to tailor it to the community itself and what the needs are and that kind of thing. And so really just ask questions. Let us know where you might be struggling and how we can journey together to do this, because we really are excited about journeying with you.
We're really, really excited.
Because our heart is for our kids. Dietrich Bonhoeffer said that the true test of a moral society is the kind of world it leaves to its children. And our heart is to live out that calling, is to leave our kids' world in a better place. And we believe that the way to best do that is to prepare their hearts for the world, no matter what the world throws at them.
Well said.
So that's really the
nothing
heart
else to add.
behind it. So I think that's it.
So thanks.
Like the page, hang out with us. And by the way, we want to, for all of you watching tonight, we are going to, you know what, Angie says, would you be open to tailoring it to the high school ages? Yes, we have, it's really marketed to 0 to 12. I will honestly say that the questions that are asked, the stories, really hone in also on teenagers, even though it's marketed to 0 to 12. And I think what I would honestly say to do is sign up. It's $9.97, and if the first month isn't what you like, you can cancel. There's no commitment. You're not like signing up for a long period of time if it's not something that you feel like is relevant to your teenager. But again, because the whole idea is the content is just put it in stir, put it to the taste of your family, and using the key times of the day. And I think part of that issue is not a lot of parents have all those 4 key times of the day with their teenagers. Their teenagers are now driving. Their teenagers are hanging out with friends during those times. So a lot of parents don't have those 4 key times of the day anymore to necessarily be interacting with them. And so that's kind of the balance here with it. And but we're going to constantly be doing other stuff outside of 226 parenting as well. So as always. We always end Facebook Live by praying for everybody watching, and so we want to do that tonight to make sure that we can pray for your kids, because we believe in the power of prayer. We believe that there's no greater parenting technique than praying for our kids and for their hearts, and so let's do that. God, we just want to thank you so much for every person watching tonight, and we thank you, God, for their children. And we just ask, Lord, especially even for the grandparents, for the children's children on this Facebook Live tonight. We pray, God, tonight for every child represented, that their hearts would be molded and shaped into your likeness, and that they would grow to know you, love you, and serve you all the days of their lives. Give us, as parents, the ability to model for them what it should look like to follow after you. We pray this all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, everybody. Ask questions, interact with us. We're excited to journey with you.